Hi, and welcome back to Plan 9 Crunch, where every week we read a page out of a genre novel. This week, for the third time, and to cap off our Bela Lugosi month, we'll be reading from Dracula by Bram Stoker. This is the Barnes & Noble edition. On the back there's a quote, as per a lot of these Barnes & Noble things. Listen to them, the children of the night, what music they make. That's an iconic quote. Right now we'll be reading from the end of the book, Dracula's death scene. So, I'm on page 397. By this time, the gypsies, seeing themselves covered by the Winchesters and at the mercy of Lord Godalming and Dr. Seward, had given in and made no further resistance. The sun was almost down on the mountain tops, and the shadows of the whole group fell upon the snow. I saw the Count lying within the box upon the earth, some of which the rude falling from the cart had scattered over him. He was deathly pale, just like a waxen image, and the red eyes glared at the horrible vindictive look which I knew too well. This is Mina talking, by the way. I probably should have specified it at the start. As I looked, the eyes saw the sinking sun, and the look of hate in them turned to triumph. But on the instant came the sweep and flash of Jonathan's great knife. I shrieked as I saw it shear through the throat, whilst at the same time Mr. Morris's bowie knife plunged into the heart. It was like a miracle. But before our very eyes, and almost in the drawing of a breath, the whole body crumpled into dust and passed from our sight. I shall be glad, as long as I live, that even in the moment of final dissolution, there was in the face a look of peace, such as I never could have imagined might have rested there. The castle of Dracula now stood out against the red sky, and every stone of its broken battlements was articulated against the light of the setting sun. The gypsies, taking us as in some way the cause of the extraordinary disappearance of the dead man, turned without a word, and rode away as if for their lives. Those who were unmounted jumped upon the letter wagon and shouted to the horsemen not to desert them. The wolves, which had withdrawn to a safe distance, followed in their wake, leaving us alone. Mr. Morris, who had sunk to the ground, leaned on his elbow, holding his hand pressed to his side. The blood still gushed through his fingers. I flew to him, for the holy circle did not now keep me back. So did the two doctors. Jonathan knelt behind him, and the wounded man laid back his head on my shoulder. With a sigh he took, with a feeble effort, my hand in that of his own, which was unstained. He must have seen the anguish of my heart in my face, for he smiled at me and said, "I am only too happy to have been of service. Oh God," he cried suddenly, struggling to a sitting posture and pointing to me, "it was worth this to die. Look, look." The sun was now right upon the mountain top, and the red gleams fell upon my face, so that it was bathed in rosy light. With one impulse, the men sank on their knees, and a deep and earnest amen broke from all as their eyes followed the pointing of his finger as the dying man spoke. "Now God be thanked that all has not been in vain. See, the snow is not more stainless than her forehead. The curse has passed away." And to our bitter grief, with a smile and in silence, he died, a gallant gentleman. So, if you just know the Universal movie, it's a very strange ending. For one thing, they're back in Transylvania. They hunt him back to his castle at the end of the book. Some adaptations keep that, but not many. Another thing most adaptations don't keep is Quincy Morris, the only man in their fellowship to die. In this book, some adaptations change that to where Jonathan or Arthur die. But Quincy Morris, a cowboy, does not die until the very end, after he's helping to kill Dracula, alongside Jonathan Harker. This is a great novel, and you really should read the entire thing, since I don't think we'll get enough episodes to delve into all the pages of this book. But I'm Joe Gibson. It's a great time reading this, and that's a wrap.